Welcome back to my channel. I have great news for you, my dear. That's how it started. Simple, almost normal, but nothing felt normal. Not to me, because your voice was slightly different, not sad, not excited, just something else. Something I couldn't place, but I felt it. And when it's you, I always feel it. Even the smallest change doesn't escape me because I listen deeper than I should, more than I planned, more than I admit. What is it? I asked slowly, trying to sound calm, trying not to guess, because guessing with you always leads somewhere, somewhere complicated, somewhere emotional, and I wasn't ready. Not yet. Not for another shift. Not for another truth. But your silence came before your answer. A small pause, but heavy enough, like you were choosing the right words, or maybe hiding the real ones. And that pause alone made my heart uneasy. Because good news doesn't hesitate like that. It comes freely, without weight, but this felt different. More controlled, more careful. I've been thinking, you finally said, and that sentence changed everything because thinking leads to decisions, and decisions change everything we know. I leaned back slightly, trying to breathe, trying to prepare for whatever comes next. Because with you, nothing is simple, nothing stays light for too long. And I've learned that the hard way through silence, through distance, through things unsaid, but deeply felt. You deserve to know. You continued softly, and those words cut deeper, not painful exactly, but serious, too serious, like something big was about to fall, and I wasn't sure if I could catch it or if I even wanted to hear it, because sometimes truth changes everything, and I wasn't ready to lose what we had, even if undefined, even if unclear, because something unclear still feels real. And what we had felt real to me, even in silence, even in distance, even without names or promises. It existed quietly, deeply, and maybe only I felt it that way. Or maybe you did too, just differently. And that's what scared me right then. That difference in feeling, that gap between us. I got an offer. You said, finally. And my mind paused right there. An offer for what? For where? For who? Questions rushed instantly, without permission. But I stayed quiet, letting you continue, because interrupting you felt wrong somehow, like breaking a moment that needed to unfold, a big one. You added slowly, and I felt it again. That strange feeling, not excitement, not relief, just something unclear, something unfinished. And I said yes. Those words landed heavier than expected, not loud, not dramatic, but final, completely final. And suddenly everything felt different again. Not broken yet, but shifting, deeply shifting. Congratulations, I said quietly, because what else could I say? That's what people say when it's good news, even if it hurts. even if it changes things. And I didn't want to show anything, not confusion, not concern, not the question building inside me, because I had one, a big one, but I wasn't ready to ask it, not yet, not like this, because answers can destroy illusions, and sometimes illusions keep us safe, even if temporary, even if false. Where I finally asked, keeping it simple, keeping it safe. But inside me, it wasn't simple, it wasn't safe, not at all. Because location means distance, and distance means change. And change with you always scares me because every time something changes, you drift a little further away. And I stay there trying to understand, trying to hold something invisible. I'll tell you, you said gently. And again, that tone, soft, careful, like you knew what this means, not just for you, but for me too. And that made it worse, much worse, because now I knew this wasn't small, this wasn't simple, this wasn't just news. This was something that could change us, change everything between you and me, and I wasn't ready. Not fully, not for distance, not for losing you, even if I never had you. Not completely, but what we had still mattered, at least to me, more than I show. And now this moment was pulling it apart quietly, slowly, without asking me. And I stood there trying to stay steady while inside me everything shifted again. Because sometimes great news for one becomes a quiet loss for someone else. And I felt that right in my chest without warning, without control. And suddenly I knew this conversation was not just news, it was a turning point. One I didn't expect but couldn't avoid, and whatever comes next won't be the same. Not for you, not for me, and definitely not for what we are, not for what we are or what we were, because now everything felt uncertain again. You looked at me, quiet, thoughtful, like you were waiting for something more, maybe a reaction, maybe a question, but I stayed calm, at least outside. Inside, I was not even close, because one truth was already clear. This great news would change everything, and I wasn't ready to accept that yet. So, where is it? I asked again, this time slower, more careful, because I needed to know fully, even if it hurts, even if it breaks. You took a breath, then said softly, abroad, far away, and that was enough to hit deeper, not shocking exactly, but final, distant, because far away means more than miles. It means less time, less moments together, less chances to stay connected, and more space for everything to fade. And I felt it, that quiet fear, not loud, not visible, but real, very real. When are you leaving? I asked gently, hoping for delay, hoping for time, but your answer came too quickly. Soon, very soon, and something inside me dropped completely, not broken, but definitely falling, because now it was real, not just a thought. not just a plan, but a decision, a path you chose without me in it. And I can't blame you. I really can't, because your life is yours to build. Your future matters more than anything, and I respect that more than my feelings. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt, because sometimes love is quiet like this. It doesn't stop you, it lets you go, even when staying is what you want. I looked at you, trying to stay steady, trying to accept what I already knew, that this moment was not just news, it was goodbye. In a softer form, not spoken directly, but clearly there, hidden in your words, between your pauses. And I hated that more than anything. Not you, not your choice, just the timing, the distance, the way it came without warning, because I wasn't ready to lose this, not this connection, not you, even if undefined, even if unclear, because some things don't need labels to feel real, to matter deeply. You're happy? I asked quietly, and you paused again, just for a second, then nodded softly. Yes, I think so. And that answer said everything. Not fully certain, not fully sure, but enough to choose, enough to move forward. And I saw it. That mix inside you, excitement, fear, hope, all together, just like me, in a different way. And that's when I understood something. This isn't easy for you either. You're not leaving without feeling something, without carrying something from here, from us. And that gave me a strange comfort, not happiness, but understanding, because it meant I wasn't alone in what I felt, in what this was. We both had something, we just never said it, never gave it space to become real, and now it's too late. Or maybe just different, because distance changes things in ways we can't control. It tests feelings, it reshapes connections, and sometimes it fades them without warning. I'm proud of you, I said softly, and this time I truly meant it. Because loving someone means wanting their growth, even if it leads away from you. And you smiled, a real one, not forced, not careful, just genuine, warm, and that stayed with me. More than words, more than anything. Thank you, you whispered back, and that moment felt complete somehow. Not perfect, but meaningful, like a chapter ending, without noise, without drama, just quiet acceptance. We stood there one last time, not speaking much, not needing to, because everything important was already understood. And maybe that's enough. For something like this, not every story needs a perfect ending. Some just need truth at the right moment. And this was ours. Simple, real. You step back slowly, creating that space, that distance we couldn't avoid. And I didn't stop you. Not this time. Because love sometimes means letting go peacefully, even when your heart wants to hold on. You turned around, walking toward your future, toward something new, something unknown, and I stayed there, watching quietly, not broken completely, but changed forever, because moments like this leave something behind, not pain only, but growth too, understanding, clarity, and a different kind of strength. And maybe that's what I needed, not an ending, but a realization that love isn't always about staying. Sometimes it's about letting someone go with respect, with quiet care, and holding the memory without regret, because what we had was real, even if it didn't last, even if it didn't grow, it existed, and that matters more than silence, more than what ifs. And I'm okay now, not fully, but enough to move forward because life continues, even after moments like this, and maybe one day we'll understand it better. But for now, this is enough.